Hello everyone, Silver Contrail here. I'm doing a real-life deck profile, so show you what I'm running in real life. I know I've been doing a lot of Dev Pro videos lately, but I thought I'd do something a little bit different, show what I'm actually have together in the physical world. And the deck that I'm still running mostly is Dragunity, and I've got a new build for it after YCS Toronto. I did some thinking, I looked at a lot of deck lists, and I came up with this current build, although it's very much still a work in progress. I'd like to get something out there just to show off what I've been working on. And I just managed to get some real life testing in with it today for the first time. So let's talk about it. Basically, I've been running Dragunity since it came out in the TCG. Basically, the day the structure deck came out, I had everything in coming from the mail. I already had all the other stuff that had been released separately, and I've been running it since. There are two Dragunity builds that are really important to look at. There's a little more of a standard Dragunity build that I think got top 8, and then the third place Incarnate Dragunity. This is a mixture between the two. It's sort of a middle ground, and we'll go through that in a second. First of all, like every Dragunity deck you see out there, I'm running triple ducks, and I'm also running triple phalanx. Patrick Hoban only ran 2 phalanx. That was for his build. My build's a little bit different, so of course I'm running 3. Double Mistiltian. This is an interesting one. I was running one for a very, very long time. After Tempest was released, I went straight down to one of them because you could always search it. I may return to one. I'm testing it at 2, and it seems pretty nice. But it depends. You might even want to side the other one in case your opponent's playing Veilers, because Mistiltian doesn't really help in a lot of matchups. It doesn't help versus Max C or DD Crow, and those are both big problem cards. Next up, one Legionnaire. Again, another card Hoban wasn't running in his build. I am running one because it's just really good to search. And then a single Acklase. Again, a card that I had cut from my builds for a long time, and I decided to re-include again because it's really handy here. And really easy to search out most of the time. Triple Tempest. So I'm running, of course, the Dragon Rulers here. I'm running the 3 Tempest. For a long time, I went 3 Tempest and then 3 Sarks, and then I went down to 2 Sarks and 2 Tempest, and then 1 Sark, which is all we were allowed, and 2 Tempest, which was okay, but when I included Blaster, 3 Blaster, I bumped it up to 3 again, and they work really well together. It's surprising. I don't run Redox, like you see some builds. I don't run Tidal either, but it works pretty well. It's surprising how effective these two together are, even by themselves. I very, very, very rarely actually use Blaster's Destruction effect. I'm thinking about running Volcanic Shell to make that more live, but that's another build entirely. Something I'll have to reshape the deck to try to support. One Zephyros. Again, another card Patrick Hoban wasn't playing. I really like this. Comboed with Ravine, it lets you access almost all of your plays, and it sets up those big fields. He called it a win more card. I don't know if he was just talking about the OTK play, where you play with the Automb Loop. Because if you have Ravine and Zephyros, it's just a really good combination. It sets up your graveyard with both tuners. You can do a lot. You can make a Mistworm, whatever. It's really cool. So I definitely keep the 1 in. Just the 1, though. Red Eyes, of course. That's pretty obvious. And then Triple Veiler, my new ulti playset that I got. Finally finished. Triple Veiler is just nice for a lot of reasons. This deck just hates effects that go off and then secure board positions, and it wants to get rid of those as quickly as, or it wants those to not kill its synchros. And Veiler is the best way to do that, besides maybe Fiendish Chain. No Max C. I've never been a fan of Max C. It's my personal choice. I have other things that I'd rather run. And that ends up being my monster lineup, which is pretty bulky. Again, the Veilers are nice because you can tune with the Dragon Rulers, which is kind of cool. So you can get to your Stardust in other ways now. Next are the spells. Triple Ravine. Fairly standard. Triple Terraforming, because getting your Ravine is really important. And then triple Cards of Consonance. So in Hoban's build, he's running the Sacred Sword of 7 stars to banish the Dragon Ruler, and then you get to add another dragon, either whatever element you banished. And particularly if you banish the Tempest, you can add a Phalanx or a Mastultian. In my case, I'm doing kind of the opposite. When I banish a Dragon Roller for like another Dragon Roller's effect or something along those lines, I'm going to add a... Well, if I banish a Tempest, or I use Tempest effect to search, I can add a target for cards of consonance to my hand, either the Phalanx or the Acklace. So this lets me kind of do that whole draw thing, draw system in reverse, where instead of banishing to get the card, instead of banishing and drawing to get a card, I'm banishing to get a card and then drawing, so it's a little bit different. 3 was interesting today. I tested it. It worked okay sometimes, and then it just kind of fell apart other times. So I'm not sure how that's going to stay in the future. Double Typhoon, I was running 3 for a while. I cut it back down to 2. May definitely side the 3rd, and probably a Night Beam too. May go up to 3 at some point again, and then the 1 Gold Stark, of course. 1 book, because I still think this is the best spell card in the game. Straight up. Like, people will be like, well, there's better spell card. Nope, it's Book of Moon. It's Book of Moon. I don't know why people don't play it. It's just amazing. It does so much. It's a defensive card. It's proactive. I love it. It's one of my favorite cards in the game. And then Dark Hole. People don't run Dark Hole. I do, because it kills things. And I need to kill things, and I need to not have people go off in my face. Sometimes it is dead. In those cases, discard it for Ravine, I'd rather... This is a card like Heavy Storm where, in the past, where I'd say, I'd rather have it and not need it than need it and not have it, despite not being able to search it. And then for traps, not very many here. Just 2 breakthrough skills. Really nice if you discard it for Ravine. They may turn into the Fiendish Chains, because Fiendish is really good this format. You just lock up their monsters, they can't attack, they can't do anything, it doesn't matter if they lance. Well, depending on the monster. Most of the time it won't matter if they lance. And then the 1 warning, just really good. And then this is something I put in at the last minute. Something Hoban ran, and then I resolved it twice. Both times I brought back 4 big dragons, and then just swung with them. Either for game, or you can just make a Draco Sack right off of them, and it's an amazing card. But just like you said, if you draw this, you're probably not going to lose, and that was very much the case where I drew it. I had a Stardust on the board, and I had to get rid of a Xian, and I finally did, and then I flipped this, and it was just boom, 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 and it was done. Because I set that up by banishing a bunch of my stuff, my synchros that I had made, and the other Dragon Rollers, with those other Dragon Rollers. And it was nutty. For the extra deck, this isn't in order, so we'll just go through this. 1 Stardust Dragon, actually 2 Stardust Dragons in here. And then, yeah, this is not in order. So there's a Stardust, a Draco Sack. Again, you're running the 7s, you might as well run this. 1 Vajriana, Strike Bouncer, a Stardust, an Emerald. I didn't summon this, I may change this. Crimson Blader, a Thought Roller, Catestor, hey, another Vajriana. Constellar Ptolemy M7, hey, another Vajriana. Heretic Dragon of Attune, another Stardust, whoop. And finally, Get Dark, just the 1. So that's 2 Stardust Dragons and then 3 of the Dragunity Knight Vajrana. And that's my build in a nutshell. Again, going forward, there's a lot of things I need to test. This trap lineup is just not enough, I feel. I think it needs more. Despite, running the three Veilers on top of that, it does give me some traps. And then if you count the Book of Moon, that's kind of a trap. But I want my back row to be pretty scary. I'm thinking about going with 3 Volcanic Shells and Phoenix Wings. Mostly because I have an ulti playset of Volcanic Shells and I really want to play them. And that may be a terrible reason to run them, but I really want to have all the shiny ever. But yeah, that's basically my build. And, well, I guess thanks for watching. If you have any suggestions, any advice, or any questions, let me know. Probably play this. I'll probably do some Dev Pro with this and have this in my next article, Aftermath. But yeah, that's it for now. Thanks for watching, and until next time then.